Zero G by Roger Carter. Roger's kind of known for his warm-up lot etudes. They're super cool, they're usually incredibly hard, and they tend to be inspired by cool music. Vortex is an exercise that the Bluecoats played from 2014 to 2016. And that was written to the song Beneath by Meshuggah. Zavada is one that they introduced in 2021. And that was inspired by the song Alfonso Muscadunder. Probably didn't pronounce that right. It's a song that I think has been kind of brought at least into the American mainstream because it was used in an episode of Better Call Saul. And Zero G is no exception. It follows a really cool Animals as Leaders song called Weightless. Zero G debuted in 2017 with the Bluecoats, which was my age out year. Roger sent out the music, I believe, during spring training, and it was something we would kind of just slowly work on whenever we had time. Obviously, it was a little bit lower of a priority than actually learning our show that we were competing with. I remember we actually didn't have it ready when tour started. It wasn't until July when we started incorporating it into our public warm-up lot sequence. The first public performance of Zero G was actually at a place very near and dear to my heart, the University of Minnesota campus, which is where I went to school. We were warming up for DCI Minnesota, which is a show that I grew up going to. We were at a stadium that I've performed in many, many times with the University of Minnesota Marching Band. The lot and the stands were filled with tons of family and friends. It was just a special night for me. But as far as I can find, there aren't any videos out there of that lot. So again, as far as I know, the debut performance of Zero G went undocumented. The next day we performed down in Rochester, Minnesota, and this is where the first ever published video of Zero G was taken. And it was taken by none other than Todd Tsuchiya, my dad. He just uploaded it to his Facebook page after the show, and it went like kind of semi-viral. It got like 40,000 views or something like that, and it had the likes of Jim Casella commenting on it, announcing that the sheet music to Zero G was now available for purchase on Tapspace. Speaking of the sheet music, Roger had me proofread the snare part before sending it off to Tapspace for publishing, because we had adjusted a few things as we were learning it. I don't think I did enough to like actually get my name published in the credits, but I still think it's kind of cool that I got to be a part of that process. The Bluecoats continued to perform Zero G in 2018 and in 2019 before Zavada ended up taking its place. But Broken City Percussion this year has revived it and incorporated it into their warm-up lot sequence for the 2024 WGI season. And so I'm very excited to go hear this epic piece in person again soon. I'll shut up and play it in a little bit here, but just a couple things I want to note. The piece is in 5/4, and there's a pretty cool 5/4 polyrhythm happening throughout, something to listen for. Also, take one watch through and just listen to the basses. Tons of cool stuff happening there. None cooler, in my opinion, than just the main unison groove part. Last thing I want to note is there's kind of a tipping point in the middle of the piece that is a solo. What's written is a snare solo. Roger wrote it. I got to play it a bunch. We experimented throughout the year in 2017 with different people writing and performing their own solos in that space. I remember my friend Mondo, who was the quad section leader at the time. He had a really cool solo. My other buddy on the snare line, Chris Morales, he had probably the coolest solo that wasn't written by Roger. But the one time he got to perform it in the lot, he dropped his stick. Sorry, Chris, for bringing that memory back up. It's just kind of funny. But ultimately, for a lot of the bigger shows, including all of Finals Week, Roger just wanted the written snare solo to be in there. And I wasn't complaining because I was the one that got to do it. Okay, I think that's enough context for you all. Here is Zero G.